Hey guys, and welcome back to another Ask Me Anything. My name is Pejman Gadimi, author of Third Circle Theory and founder of Secret Entourage. And today we're going to talk a little bit about broken partnerships. So in my previous videos, I've talked about what it takes to get great partnerships going and how to form great partnerships in order to start your venture or your new business. But in case things don't work out, then obviously it's time to break it up, right? Before things get worse. And so a lot of people ask me, and I've actually dealt with a lot of meetings about this in companies that I advise, regarding how partnerships break apart when things don't work out in companies that are actually making money. Many people gain good traction, but then can't agree in terms of direction or in terms of how money that is made should be spent. Some people want to get paid, others want to reinvest. And so there comes a time when you come to an agreement where that you simply cannot agree. So what do you do at that point? How do you make a decision as to how to move forward? Well, understand that at any time you dilute a company that is making money, it is going to require one person or another paying the other person a sum of money to be able to buy them out of the equation. And so it's very important that you realize that if you take two different people, there is no way you're going to be able to get out of it with just lawyers. You'll have to get out of it with great lawyers and an agreement on what the company is worth and how to divide it based on the shares in the company. And so understanding a few things. Partnerships break, it's normal, it's ordinary, it's actually more common than partnerships working. And so the first thing you're going to understand is don't create a lot of distrust and emotional disconnect as a result of the fact that you just had a bad partnership. It's very important to realize that great partnerships can still occur, and just because you had one bad one in the past doesn't mean that every one in the future will be bad. Similar to a marriage, similar to a relationship you have with someone else, you're going to have good and bad ones, and you're going to have salvageable ones and ones that are not. The important thing is to remain calm, and it's important to also realize that you're not going to be spending the rest of your life fighting this. This is something that's going to end, this is something that's going to pass. It's very important to think about it rationally. You need to look at it from the standpoint of, first, is it good for you to actually exit the relationship as the person keeping the business, or is it best for you to exit the relationship as the people giving up the business? And so once you've kind of made that decision, the next step is to actually agree on the dollar amount that is worth for you to exit, and finally to look at how you'll be able to compensate that dollar amount regardless that it's paid to you or that it's going to be paid to the other person for you to keep the business. The most important part of a partnership is to understand that at the end of the day, two people disagreeing doesn't mean that there will never be someone else that agrees with you or that partnerships are bad, but it's simply, just like everything else, a matter of understanding that as business evolves, people evolve too. And so I want you to focus on the idea of growing your next phase of your life rather than focusing and dwelling on the parts that don't work. So hopefully this has answered a question of how to actually deal with a poor partnership and how to actually be able to exit one. One of the last things I'll leave you with is that outside of the emotional part of partnerships, there's also the logical dollar part of it. And like we talked about earlier about the money in and out, and depending on if you're buying the person out or they're buying you out, it's also important to understand that it's very okay to open the business to new investors, especially if you're the one running it. But at this point, you should make sure that their vision is aligned with yours for 10 years, not so much the next 3, so that you're not in the same situation again and again. So hopefully you found this Ask Me Anything helpful, and we'll catch you next time on the next one. Today, we're going to be talking about breaking out of your comfort zone. And one of the most important parts of being able to win in business is to be able to completely graduate from this